In value migration, there are three stages. One, when value inflows. As I said, it starts slowly, limited competition, high growth, and high profitability. At that point of time, it's just a fire. I mean, market doesn't know how big and how fast it will become. Then comes the next phase. I mean, that lasts for 5-6 years. Then everybody gets in, and then number of competitors increase, and then the competition stabilizes, stable market share, stable margins. So that's what really is the thing. And then value outflow starts. Then the customer says that no, I'm looking for even better business model. And then competitive intensity increases, and a lot of people, they die out. And sales decline, low profit happens, and then the end of the value migration happens. So this is the phase in which MTN has reached. How to identify value migration? This is another big question mark. So there are two approaches. One, look for changing or emerging customer priorities. Wherever things are changing, you can see that plastic is bypassing the GI pipes, or wireless phone is coming, or low cost airline is coming. You can see that. You have to see that particular change of the you yourself a customer, how you are changing your mood. Second, look for right business design to meet these priorities. So then you have to figure out, when this thing is happening, so which are the companies which are going to be kind of best fitted to like online is happening. Everything is going online from offline. So where exactly which company is the best suited to execute this particular opportunity? And then identify the beneficiary of value migration. So like quick meal, just an example, quick meal to QSRs, convenience of ordering from home to internet-based ordering, and then assured quality of jewelry, hallmarking and trust. So, so things are migrating from dining restaurants to QSR, mom and pop stores to e-commerce providers, family jeweler to branded jewelry chains, bank deposits to insurance sector, because you want more health and insurance, just not the deposits. And then reduce dependence on China plus one study. So from China to other low-cost countries. So there are a whole lot of big thinking is there. But my thing is that yes, you can get it from anywhere. But second approach is even more powerful in the sense, evaluate successful small and mid-sized growth companies. Typically, these companies at early stage are very small and mid-sized, and find whether they're above and why they're growing. Why they're growing at 40, 50, 60, 100%? Because GDP is growing at about 9, 10, 12%. So growing at about 20, 15, 17, even 20% is okay. But when they grow at 50, 60%, means there is some magic on. And particularly if it is for 1 or 2 years on a reasonable size, then obviously there is something is migrating. If try to understand what is changing in the backdrop, and that if there is a value migration intent out there, I think then you can capitalize on that. Because value migration, one is that once it starts, it is very powerful force. It's like big bucket throwing water into the smaller bucket, and once that tap is set, and then you have the full bucket to come down, and that doesn't happen in one night, because the existing guy will try to fight out that particular value migration. So it will take some time. Like PSU banks, they will keep fighting their stay. Government will keep giving them lakhs of crores every year, but the writing is on the wall. I personally met the RBI governor and said, "Sir, this is a value migration, and the only way is to go move against this very, very clearly." This was 5, 7, 10 years back. Every repeated governor said, but they don't. They have their hands tied. They cannot close down the PSU banks that easily. But now this government seems to be on top of it. They are coming to at least rationalize them. The best is to privatize them so that immediately the market share will shift. So despite you knowing and the authorities saying it, they cannot do anything. So these trends last for 15, 20. You imagine from HDFC Bank was available for 1,000 crores. At $40, you could buy 10 lakh shares in one day, and you will get it in 95, 96 when it got listed. Today it is a 8 lakh, 9 lakh, third largest company listed here, and growing at 20%. So, and they have got already 9, 10% of the market share. What happens if he gets 20% of the growing market? See, banking is growing at about 15%. When your GDP grows at about 12, 13%, 11, 12%, banking growth is at 15%. The private sector is growing at 20, 22%. Within private sector, there is further consolidation. So that the winning guy who grows market share, he grows at 25-30%. And at 30% compounded, in 10 years, you go 15x. What more you want? And if by chance on top of it, there is a P re-rating, then you are talking about 35% compounded, 20 years and 10 years. What more money you want to be? So that's the power of, multiple compounding, multiple layering of the compounding forces in the value migration. So where do you expect value migration? Ongoing is globally the biggest one is IT and pharma, and domestic biggest is private sector banking. But relatively new and emerging, what we can see, and you can see a lot more, it is just a thought process. Organized retail, from unorganized to organized retail. Insurance, from public sector again to private sector. Third, e-commerce, from offline to online. Chemicals, the world wants India to produce a lot more. So China plus kind of strategy. Private label white goods, manufacturing PLI based schemes which are coming in. This is just about to start. They're just around the thing. You imagine when the PLI scheme actually starts working, then the quarter result will start coming. And with that money, what the guy does, that you have to see the entrepreneur. And then AMCs. I mean, you see, you guys are helping AMCs become bigger and bigger. Electric vehicles. We have not even started electric vehicles. So there are lots of themes and many more themes you can watch.
Sir, quick one. We have 2-3 minutes more, then we would like to take some questions. Sir.
Yeah, we just finished. Sure. So value migration alone isn't enough for wealth creation. What you need is value migration, terrific management to execute, and reasonable valuation of the stocks. I don't think you should focus that much on the valuation. That's why we said valuation. But getting the value migration and good management, both are very important. So conclusions, value migrates from outbounded business design to new ones which better satisfy customer priorities. Value continues to migrate favorably for IT, pharma, and private banks. Some new emerging sectors are organized retail, insurance, commerce, and chemicals. Value migration is arguably the most powerful framework for equity investing. And not only, and particularly for emerging market country like India, where the labor cost differential, despite the intelligence differential is not there, you get the same guy, same intellectual, and the world is becoming intellectual. So where can you buy intelligence per hour cheap? That's the game. However, value migration alone isn't enough for high wealth. It needs to be supplemented by terrific management to execute the growth strategy. Thanks very much.